once again, my watchers of Doctor Who. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. I'm about to talk to you about the End of Time, Part 2 of the David Tennant specials, his finale of the whole Doctor Who series. And let's get right into it. Obviously, the Doctor is David Tennant. He does his role just as well as he's always done it, and nothing really changes with that. John Sim portrays the Master once again, and he does it wonderfully, as always. He's able to capture kind of the craziness that goes along with the Master's persona very well, and it's quite a cool thing to see. And then also Bernard Cribbins returns again as Wilfred Mott, who is Donna's grandpa. He actually still has a somewhat important role in the episode, which was kind of surprising to me because I wasn't really expecting him to be a huge character. I thought he was just going to be kind of in the sidelines for the most part, like he's been for the past few seasons. But yeah, it was cool to see him in an active role for once. And then also Timothy Dalton as the Lord President. He is basically the ruler of the Time Lords, and he's the head honcho bad guy at this point. So with that, let's get into the plot. Plot is essentially picks up right from where part 1 left off, with the Master causing all human beings, or most human beings on Earth, to take his form and basically become him. And looks like all is doomed for the Doctor. Of course, this isn't true. And he very quickly escapes and starts to work up a way to end this horrible disaster that's going to be occurring. Now, back in Gallifrey, you see the Time Lords, and they're still in their time lock, but you see that they are actually knowledgeable about what's going on, and they wish to be reborn on Earth. I say reborn because essentially at the time of this taking place they are dead, but you see them in an act of trying to get back to Earth, or get back onto Earth so they can rule the galaxy and cause the end of time. That is their ultimate goal, and along with that, other things are explained as to why, or what connects the Master and the Doctor, and the reasons that the Doctor is the last of the Time Lords. And then, yeah, that is essentially the plot. Once again, I don't really want to spoil too much. I'll talk about the ending as usual at the very end, after the credits, at the end of this video. So keep watching for that. But yeah, overall, very enjoyable episode. Very good finale for David Tennant. I thought he went out with a bang, with style, and kept the character of the Doctor maintained throughout the whole episode, and showed many different sides of the Doctor that we have seen for the last 3 seasons. Yeah, that is my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I would be delighted if that was to happen. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm dressed up, I had a jazz band gig that I had to go and play for this morning. And so I'm filming this now, and I didn't feel like changing. So that's what you get. So after the credits, I will be doing a video talking about the ending to the End of Time Part 2. And then tomorrow, I'll be doing reviews similar to my series reviews that I do for books and movies and other things, where I just kind of talk about David Tennant as the Doctor for the past 3 seasons, what I liked, what I didn't like, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's about it. As always, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, my good people, Alonze. Alright, and if you are still watching, my Doctor Who fans, you wish to hear my thoughts on the ending to The End of Time, Part 2. Now, something that I found really interesting in the episode was the fact that at the very end, or kind of in the last half of the episode, throughout the Doctor's whole existence in this new series, he has never carried a weapon. He never wants to kill anyone that he does not have to protect those he cares about. It was really interesting at the end where he took up the gun and was essentially considering shooting either the master or the Lord President. Although I did find it kind of weird how even though the Doctor had a gun and he could fire, that the Lord President didn't. He seemed helpless against it. Like he couldn't do anything to save himself. Like he's the Lord of the Time Lords. I would think that he would have some power to take out people if he needed to. So that part was kind of iffy for me. But overall, I really did like the ending. I thought that the last minute alliance between the Master and the Doctor was really cool. And I always like those types of things when they happen in either whatever form of media. I always like seeing enemies kind of join together for a common cause, because it shows their similarities when otherwise the only thing that's perceived is their differences. But yeah, I thought that the Master kind of sacrificed himself to take out the Lord President and kind of get his revenge for being basically a puppet for the Time Lords for the whole of his life. So that part was kind of cool. But the main thing in this is David Tennant's demise. It's a very sad process. After the day is saved, Gallifrey is gone, and all seems to be good. He realizes he's still alive, and then Donna's grandfather knocks 4 times, and that kind of is just a downer on him. And then to save Donna's grandpa, he has to basically sacrifice himself, more or less. He has to take in a lot of radiation and essentially poison himself and therefore force himself to regenerate. I did find it interesting how the regeneration process seemed to take a while to happen. I don't know how fast the Doctor went from place to place, which I'll get to in a second. It just seems like in the past, like with the only other one I've seen, Christopher Eccleston, his regeneration seemed to just kind of happen. He didn't really get to prolong it very much, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, seeing him go back to like everybody who's ever like made an impact on him as the 10th Doctor was really cool to see. It was kind of like a go back in time type of thing. Just kind of a last goodbye, because I don't think we see any of these characters ever again in the series thus far. I don't know for sure, because I haven't watched 5 or 6 or 7. But so we see Captain Jack in a bar. FYI, I haven't watched Torchwood as of filming this, so I don't really know that backstory all that well. So I thought that was pretty cool. We got to see Martha. He basically saves her life. He goes to Donna's wedding and gives her a gift from her father, or gives her grandpa a gift from Donna's father, which they end up giving to Donna. And then Rose, he sees before any of this has happened, before she even knows who the Doctor is. He sees her, he has a chat with her. Obviously he doesn't reveal anything, but it's just kind of a cool thing to see. Because you see him go back in time and see everyone who he's cared about, and I just enjoyed that. But then the last sequence, he does eventually regenerate, become Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, and I don't know, it was emotional. I didn't really get too choked up over it, but it was a very emotional scene, and it was very well done, I thought. And it showed like how much he enjoyed being who he was, and how much he did not want to change, and he didn't want to die, which is perfectly human. So they added kind of a human trait onto the Doctor, who is essentially immortal if he chose to be. So yeah, that is the end of my review. As I said before, I'll be talking about David Tennant as the 10th Doctor tomorrow, so check in tomorrow for that review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe for this video if you so choose. That would be awesome. And so yeah, once again, my name is Nick Pell, and for the second to last time, my good people, Alonze.